Chosen one, pause everything. You're scrolling, you're rushing, you're worrying, and let this moment seize your soul. This isn't just another video. It's a divine alarm clock ringing straight from heaven's throne room, sounding an urgent call to your spirit. God says you're already late, and the clock is still ticking. Not the clock of the world with its fleeting trends and shallow deadlines, but the sacred chronometer of your destiny, the one etched in eternity before you took your first breath. You've felt it, haven't you? That restless stirring in your chest, the whisper that you're meant for more, the ache of dreams deferred by fear, doubt, or distraction. Every second you've spent questioning your worth, every moment you've lingered in the shadows of hesitation has been a delay in stepping into the divine purpose God has funded for your life. But hear this: the delay is not denial. The ticking clock is not a punishment. It's an invitation to awaken now, to rise into the radiant life of abundance, prosperity, and personal transformation that awaits you. Picture a golden hourglass in the courts of heaven, its sands shimmering with the weight of your calling. Each grain represents a moment you've been prepared for, a trial that forged your resilience, a tear that watered your faith. Those grains are not lost. They've been gathering, building toward this very second when you're ready to claim what's yours. The struggles you've faced, the sleepless nights wondering how the bills would be paid, the betrayals that left your heart scarred, the opportunities that slipped through your fingers were not random. They were divine preparation, chiseling you into a vessel strong enough to carry the overflowing blessings God is releasing. Psalm 31:19 declares, "How abundant are the good things that you have stored up for those who fear you." Your storehouse is full, chosen one, brimming with divine provision, clarity, and breakthroughs. But to access it, you must act now, for the clock of your destiny waits for no one. This video unveils a unique truth. The fears holding you back are not barriers, but bridges to your greatest breakthroughs. Every time you've hesitated, every moment you've let self-doubt whisper, "Not yet," or "not enough," you've been standing at the edge of a sacred threshold. Fear isn't your enemy. It's the gatekeeper to your prosperous life. Think of David facing Goliath, not with confidence in his own strength, but with faith in God's backing. 1 Samuel 17:45 reminds us, David said to the Philistine, "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." Your fears, whether financial scarcity, rejection, or failure, are your Goliath. But like David, you're armed with divine favor, and the stone of your faith is already in motion. The question is, will you sling it? Or will you keep waiting for a perfect moment that never comes? Let's talk about those fears for a moment, because they're real and God sees them. Maybe you're staring at a bank account that mocks your dreams of financial freedom, or perhaps you're carrying the weight of a relationship that drained your joy. Maybe you're haunted by a vision, a business, a ministry, a creative project that feels too big for your resources. I met a woman named Sarah, a single mother in her 40s, who dreamed of opening a bakery. For years, she scribbled recipes on napkins, her heart bursting with ideas. But fear of failure kept her stuck in a dead-end job. Bills piled up, and her confidence withered. One day, she heard a sermon about stepping out in faith, and something clicked. She started small, baking for friends, then local cafes. Within a year, a stranger tasted her cupcakes, invested in her vision, and now her bakery employs dozens. Sarah's story isn't a fairy tale. It's a testament to what happens when you move despite fear. Your story is next, chosen one, if you dare to act. Here's the truth. God isn't waiting for you to be fearless. He's waiting for you to be faithful. Your spiritual awakening, doesn't require perfection. It requires movement. The ticking clock isn't counting down to your failure, it's counting up to your breakthrough. But you must choose to step into it. Romans 8:28 promises, "We know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Your delays, your detours, your doubts, they're all being woven into a tapestry of divine timing. That job loss wasn't a rejection. It was a redirection to a path of wealth creation. That heartbreak wasn't a dead end. It was a doorway to relationships that honor your light. Every closed door has been a divine setup, positioning you for a life of overflow. Now, let's get practical, because faith without action is just a wish. God has already funded your destiny, but you need to take specific steps to unlock it. Here are 3 actionable steps you can start today to step into your divine moment. First, write one clear goal for this week that aligns with your deepest vision. It could be drafting a business plan, signing up for a course, or even decluttering your space to make room for new energy. Put it on paper and place it where you'll see it daily. Habakkuk 2:2 says, "Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it." Your written goal is a prophetic act, signaling to heaven that you're ready. Second, reach out to someone who inspires your faith journey. This could be a mentor, a friend, or even someone you've lost touch with but whose encouragement once lifted you. Send a message, make a call, or meet for coffee. Share your vision, even if it feels vulnerable. Proverbs 27:17 reminds us, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." Your divine connections are waiting to amplify your purpose, but you must take the first step. Third, start that project you've been delaying. Whether it's a blog, a painting, or a community outreach, take one tangible action today. Register a domain name, sketch a logo, or email a potential collaborator. Don't wait for permission or perfection. Ecclesiastes 11:4 warns, "Whoever watches the wind will not plant. Whoever looks at the clouds will not reap." Your small step is a seed, and God will water it with divine provision. These 3 steps, writing a goal, connecting with an encourager, and starting your project, are your keys to unlocking the abundance God has prepared. They're simple but sacred, designed to move you from hesitation to holy momentum. Don't overthink them, just do them. Your breakthrough is closer than you realize, and every action you take aligns you with heaven's rhythm. If this message is stirring your soul, consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks. Your gift helps us spread the light of divine provision to more chosen ones like you, building a community of faith and overflow. Let's keep this movement growing together. Imagine standing at the edge of a radiant river, its waters sparkling with promises of prosperity and peace. That river is your destiny, and every fear you've faced has been a stone leading you to its banks. You're not here by accident. You're here by appointment. The world may tell you you're late, that you've missed your chance, but God says your timing is perfect. Isaiah 60:22 declares, "When the time is right, I, the Lord, will make it happen." Your moment is now, chosen one, but you must choose to step into the current. Will you wade in, or will you stay on the shore, watching the clock tick? Your fears are not failures, they're invitations to trust deeper. Think of Peter walking on water in Matthew 14:29. He didn't wait until the storm calmed. He stepped out in the chaos, his eyes fixed on Jesus. Your chaos, whether financial strain, loneliness, or self-doubt, is your water. Jesus is calling you to walk, not to sink. Every step you take toward your divine purpose strengthens your faith, and heaven is ready to meet you with miracles. A man named James, a carpenter in his 50s, felt trapped in a cycle of debt. Fear told him to play it safe, but one day he started crafting furniture as a side hustle. A local church noticed his work, commissioned pieces, and within months, his creations were in demand across the state. James didn't wait for fear to fade. He walked through it, and God turned his craft into a legacy. You're not just chasing dreams, you're building a prosperous life that echoes into eternity. Your divine purpose isn't about fleeting success, it's about lasting impact. Every action you take now, writing that goal, making that call, starting that project, plants seeds for generational blessings. Deuteronomy 28:8 promises, "The Lord will send a blessing on your barns and on everything you put your hand to. Your hands are anointed, chosen one. What you touch will flourish, but you must touch it." As we move deeper into this message, feel the urgency of heaven's call. The clock is ticking, not to rush you into panic, but to propel you into purpose. You're not behind, you're being launched. Every trial has been a training ground, every fear a forge for your courage. Picture a scroll unfurling in heaven, your name written in light, detailing a destiny of abundance and influence. That scroll is open, and God is reading it over your life. But what if the fear you're facing is the very doorway to your divine provision? Let's dive deeper into this sacred moment, chosen one, because the ticking clock isn't just a sound, it's a heartbeat, pulsing with the rhythm of your divine purpose. You're standing on holy ground, where every fear you faced is being transformed into a stepping stone toward a life of abundance and personal transformation. The world may have told you that time is slipping away, that your dreams are out of reach, but God's timing is flawless. Ecclesiastes 3:1 reminds us, there is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. Your season is now, and the urgency you feel is heaven's invitation to leap into the flow of divine provision. The fears that once paralyzed you, fear of failure, fear of not being enough, fear of stepping into the unknown, are not chains, they're keys, unlocking doors to a prosperous life you've only glimpsed in your prayers. Imagine a vast golden field under a dawn sky, each blade of grass shimmering with the dew of God's promises. This field is your destiny, and every trial you've endured has been a seed planted in its soil. Those moments when you felt overlooked, when your efforts seemed to yield nothing, when your heart ached for breakthrough, they weren't wasted. They were watering the ground, preparing it for a harvest of overflowing blessings. Psalm 126:5 declares, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy." Your tears have been your investment, chosen one, and the return is coming, not just in financial freedom, but in clarity, peace, and purpose that shift the atmosphere wherever you go. Let's talk about the fear that's been whispering to you, because it's time to confront it head-on. Maybe it's the fear of starting that business, convinced you don't have the resources. Or perhaps it's the fear of rebuilding trust after a betrayal, worried you'll be hurt again. Maybe it's the fear of stepping into a calling that feels too big, too bold, too impossible. These fears are real, but they're not the truth. They're shadows, and shadows only exist where light is present. You are that light, chosen one, a beacon of divine frequency, as Matthew 5:14 proclaims, "You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden." Your fears are proof that something holy is stirring within you, something so powerful that the enemy trembles at its awakening. Consider the story of Rachel, a teacher in her 30s who felt called to write a book about her journey through grief. For years, fear of rejection kept her from typing a single word. Publishers wouldn't care, she thought. Her story wasn't special enough. But one evening, during a quiet moment of prayer, she felt a nudge to start. She wrote one page, then another. She shared a chapter with a friend, who shared it with a local authors group. Within months, a small press offered her a contract, and her book now comforts thousands. Rachel's fear was her Goliath, but her faith was her sling. Your fear is no different. It's a giant that looks big but falls fast when you act in faith. You don't need to banish fear to move forward. You need to walk through it. God isn't asking for perfection. He's asking for your yes. Your spiritual awakening is unfolding, not in the absence of obstacles, but in your courage to step over them. The 3 steps I shared earlier, writing a goal, connecting with an encourager, and starting your project, are your roadmap. They're not just tasks. They're prophetic acts aligning you with heaven's economy. Don't add to them or overcomplicate them. These steps are enough, designed to spark holy momentum. James 2:17 reminds us, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. Your faith is alive, chosen one, and every step you take breathes life into your destiny. Now, picture yourself standing before a radiant door, your name carved in gold, glowing with the promise of your divine purpose. This door isn't locked, but it requires you to turn the handle. Fear might tell you to wait, to prepare more, to be ready, but readiness isn't the absence of fear, it's the presence of trust. Isaiah 41:10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you." God is your strength, your provision, your clarity. The moment you turn that handle, you step into a life where lack is a memory, where favor precedes you, and where breakthroughs chase you. If this message is igniting your spirit, declare it to the heavens. Type, "I am stepping into my divine moment" in the comments below. Let your voice join thousands of chosen ones claiming their prosperous life. This isn't just a comment, it's a prophetic act, signaling to the universe that you're ready for overflow. Share this moment with our community, because together we're building a movement of faith and abundance. Let's address the ticking clock, because it's not here to scare you, it's here to spur you. You're not late in God's eyes, you're right on time. Every delay has been a divine setup, positioning you for a breakthrough that doesn't just change your circumstances, but transforms your soul. Think of Joseph, sold into slavery, imprisoned, forgotten. Genesis 50:20 reveals his revelation. "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Your delays, your setbacks, your fears, they're part of a divine script leading you to a stage where your life becomes a testimony. Your story isn't just for you, it's for nations, for generations, for those waiting on the other side of your obedience. What does a divinely funded life look like? It's not just checks in the mail or sudden windfalls, though those may come. It's waking up with ideas that spark wealth creation. It's walking into rooms where your presence shifts the atmosphere. It's seeing debts dissolve, relationships heal, and opportunities appear like stars in a clearing sky. I heard of a man named Daniel, a mechanic who felt stuck in a low-paying job. Fear of change kept him from pursuing his dream of opening a repair shop. One day, he took a small step, renting a tiny garage space. A customer noticed his skill, recommended him to a fleet company, and within a year, Daniel's shop was thriving. His fear was a bridge, not a barrier, leading to financial freedom. Your divine provision isn't limited to money, it's a flood of wisdom, favor, and peace. Philippians 4:19 promises, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." Notice it says all, not some, not most, but every need. Your health, your relationships, your dreams, they're all covered. But you must act. The 3 steps, your goal, your connection, your project, are your agreement with heaven. Don't wait for fear to fade, let faith lead. Every step you take is a withdrawal from heaven's account, and that account never runs dry. As you stand in this moment, feel the weight of heaven's backing. You're not alone. Angels are encamped around you, as Psalm 34:7 assures. The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him, and he delivers them. Your fears are being dismantled, not by your strength, but by divine power. Picture a chain breaking, its links scattering like dust. That's what's happening in the unseen. Every lie, every doubt, every barrier is crumbling. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a new identity, one that radiates divine favor and unshakable peace. The clock is still ticking, chosen one, but it's not counting down, it's counting you in. You're being invited to a life where fear bows to faith, where scarcity surrenders to abundance, where your purpose becomes your legacy. But what if the next step you take is the one that unlocks everything God has promised? Let's press deeper into this sacred encounter, chosen one, because the ticking clock is not a threat. It's a divine metronome, keeping time with the rhythm of your breakthrough. You're not racing against time. You're being propelled by it, launched into a season where your divine purpose unfolds with breathtaking precision. The fears that once loomed large are shrinking in the light of God's promises, and every step you take now is a stride toward a prosperous life overflowing with abundance and personal transformation. Imagine a celestial tapestry, woven with threads of your trials, your dreams, and your quiet moments of faith. Each stitch has been deliberate, crafted by the hands of the Almighty to reveal a masterpiece. Your life radiant with divine provision and unshakable purpose. Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Your future is calling, and the clock is urging you to answer. Let's pause to reflect on what's brought you here. The sleepless nights, the unanswered prayers, the moments when fear whispered that you were too late. These were not dead ends, but divine detours, shaping you for this exact moment. Your spiritual awakening is not a distant hope. It's happening now, in the space between your doubts and your decisions. The 3 steps I shared, writing a clear goal, connecting with an encourager, and starting your delayed project, are your sacred tools, designed to anchor your faith in action. They're not burdens, they're bridges, leading you from hesitation to holy momentum. Proverbs 16:3 reminds us, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." Your commitment to these steps is a handshake with heaven, sealing your partnership with God's plan. Now, let's address the urgency of this moment, because the clock isn't just ticking, it's singing, heralding a season of divine acceleration. You've felt it, haven't you? The quickening in your spirit, the sense that something is shifting, even if you can't yet name it. That's not anxiety, it's anticipation, the hum of heaven's machinery aligning resources, connections, and opportunities for your breakthrough. Picture a divine vault, its doors inscribed with your name, brimming with treasures of wisdom, favor, and wealth creation. That vault is unlocking, but it requires your hand to open it. Fear might tempt you to wait, to question your readiness. But 2 Timothy 1:7 assures us, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Your power is active, your love is radiant, and your mind is being renewed for the prosperous life ahead. Consider the story of Maria, a graphic designer who felt trapped in a cycle of freelance gigs that barely paid the bills. She dreamed of launching her own design studio, but fear of financial failure kept her stuck. One day, inspired by a podcast about faith-driven entrepreneurship, she took a small step. She wrote a business plan, her first actionable goal. She reached out to a former colleague, her encourager, who introduced her to a client needing branding. That connection led to a contract that funded her studio's launch. Maria's fear was real, but her faith was stronger. Her story mirrors yours, chosen one. Your fears are not the end of the road. They're the starting line for your divine purpose. Your breakthrough isn't just about you. It's about the lives tethered to your obedience. Every step you take, writing that goal, making that call, starting that project, ripples outward, touching people you may never meet. Deuteronomy 28:12 promises, "The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of his bounty, to send rain on your land in season and to bless all the work of your hands. Your hands are blessed, chosen one. And what you build now will feed nations, inspire communities, and break generational curses." Your divine provision isn't a trickle, it's a torrent, washing away lack and flooding your life with clarity, peace, and abundance. If this message is setting your soul ablaze, let heaven hear your declaration. Type, "I am claiming my divine provision," in the comments below. This isn't just a comment, it's a prophetic shout, echoing in the courts of heaven and joining thousands of chosen ones stepping into their destiny. Let's build this community of faith, where every voice amplifies the promise of overflow. Now, imagine standing on a mountaintop, the wind carrying whispers of God's promises. Below you lies a valley of possibilities. New ventures, healed relationships, creative explosions, all waiting for your descent. Fear might tell you the path is too steep, the risks too great. But Psalm 32:8 reassures, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." God is your guide, your compass, your provision. The 3 steps are your map, simple yet sacred, designed to keep you moving. Don't add to them or doubt their power. Writing your goal plants a seed, connecting with an encourager waters it, and starting your project calls forth the harvest. Your fears are not failures. They're invitations to trust deeper. Think of Esther, a young woman facing the fear of approaching a king to save her people. Esther 4:14 asks, "And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this?" Your fears are your royal position, chosen one, placing you at the threshold of impact. Esther didn't wait for fear to fade. She acted, and God turned her courage into salvation. Your courage is turning your fears into stepping stones, leading to financial freedom, relational healing, and a legacy that echoes beyond your lifetime. You're not just stepping into a new chapter, you're stepping into a new identity. The old you, bound by scarcity and self-doubt, is fading. The new you, radiant with divine favor, is rising. Picture a phoenix, its wings ablaze, soaring from ashes into a sky of endless possibilities. That's you, chosen one, burning away fear and soaring into a life of purpose and prosperity. Every action you take now, every goal written, every connection made, every project started, is a feather in those wings, lifting you higher. The clock is still ticking, chosen one, but it's not a countdown, it's a crescendo, building toward a symphony of breakthroughs. You're not late, you're launching. Every fear you face is a note in this divine melody, harmonizing with God's plan. But what if the next fear you conquer is the key to unlocking the abundance heaven has stored for you? Let's plunge even deeper into this divine moment, chosen one, because the ticking clock is not a warning, it's a clarion call, summoning you to rise into the fullness of your divine purpose. You're not just hearing a message, You're standing at a sacred crossroads, where every fear you've carried is being alchemized into fuel for your breakthrough. The rhythm of heaven is pulsing through your life, aligning every step with a destiny of abundance, personal transformation, and unshakable peace. Picture a radiant compass, its needle trembling with divine energy, pointing not to a place, but to a promise. A prosperous life where lack is a shadow and favor is your sunlight. Psalm 37:4 sings, "Take delight in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Those desires, buried under years of doubt and delay, are resurfacing now, ready to bloom if you dare to move. Your journey to this moment has been no accident. Every rejection, every sleepless night, every moment you wrestled with fear was a brushstroke on the canvas of your faith journey. Those struggles weren't meant to break you, they were sculpting you, carving out space for the divine provision that's now flowing toward you. The 3 steps I gave you, writing a clear goal, connecting with an encourager, and starting your delayed project, are your sacred keys, unlocking the vault of heaven's blessings. They're not suggestions, they're divine instructions. As Proverbs 3:5-6 urges, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your path straight. Your submission to these steps is straightening the path to your breakthrough, smoothing out the rough edges of fear and doubt. Let's confront the fear that's been your loudest adversary, because it's time to silence it with truth. Maybe it's the fear of financial scarcity, the nagging worry that you'll never achieve wealth creation. Or perhaps it's the fear of stepping into your calling, convinced you're not qualified. Maybe it's the fear of vulnerability, of opening your heart after it's been bruised. These fears are not your identity. They're illusions dissolving in the light of God's presence. Isaiah 43:1 declares, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. You are claimed, chosen one, marked by the Creator for a life of overflow." Your fears are not walls, they're windows, revealing the strength you've built through every trial. Think of Thomas, a barista in his late 20s who dreamed of launching a community art space. Fear of failure kept him pouring coffee, convinced his vision was too big for his small savings. One day, he wrote his goal on a napkin, his first step. He shared it with a co-worker, his encourager, who connected him with a local artist. That artist invited Thomas to a grant workshop, and within 6 months his art space was funded by a community fund. Thomas's fear was a mirage, but his faith was a magnet, drawing resources to his purpose. Your fear is no different, chosen one. It's a veil, and your faith is ready to tear it down. Your divine purpose isn't a solo mission, it's a movement, rippling through lives you've yet to touch. Every action you take, writing that goal, making that connection, starting that project, sends waves of impact, shifting atmospheres and breaking chains. Deuteronomy 28:2 promises, "All these blessings will come on you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God." Your obedience is a signal, activating heaven's economy, where resources flow, doors open, and miracles multiply. You're not just building a business, a family, or a legacy. You're building a testimony that will inspire generation. If this message is lighting a fire in your soul, let the heavens witness your resolve. Type, "I am breaking through my fears" in the comments below. This is more than a comment, it's a declaration, joining thousands of chosen ones claiming their divine moment. Like this video and subscribe to stay connected to this flow of faith and abundance, because together we're igniting a revolution of purpose. Now, envision a golden scroll unfurling in the heavens, its edges glowing with the light of eternity. Your name is written there, alongside promises of prosperity, clarity, and influence. This scroll isn't a dream. It's a decree, sealed by the hand of God. Every fear you faced has been a test, proving your readiness to carry this destiny. Hebrews 11:1 reminds us, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for, and assurance about what we do not see." Your faith is your title deed, claiming the unseen blessings that are already yours. The 3 steps are your signature, binding you to this divine contract. Your fears are not your story, they're your setup. Consider Rahab, a woman of Jericho, whose fear of destruction could have kept her silent. Instead, she acted in faith, hiding Israel's spies and securing her family's salvation. Joshua 2:12 and 14. Her fear was her catalyst, turning a prostitute into a progenitor of Jesus' lineage. Your fears are no less powerful, chosen one, positioning you for a legacy that defies your past. Every step you take now, every goal written, every encourager contacted, every project begun is a thread in this divine lineage, weaving a future of impact. You're not just stepping into opportunity, you're stepping into authority. Picture yourself cloaked in a mantle of divine favor, its fabric shimmering with peace and power. This mantle isn't earned, it's bestowed, as Ephesians 2:8 says, "For it is by grace you have been saved, through faith. And this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God." Your grace is active, chosen one, empowering you to walk boldly through fear into financial freedom, relational healing, and creative breakthroughs. Your life is becoming a living parable, showing the world what happens when fear bows to faith. The clock is still ticking, chosen one, but it's not a race. It's a revelation, unveiling the divine provision God has prepared. You're not late, you're arriving, right on time for a season of overflow. But what if the fear you're facing is the final lock on the door to your greatest miracle? Let's dive deeper into this sacred rhythm, chosen one, because the ticking clock is not winding down, it's winding you up, propelling you into a divine crescendo where your fears transform into the very fuel for your breakthrough. You're standing at the edge of a holy precipice, where the winds of heaven are whispering your name, urging you to leap into a life of abundance, personal transformation, and unshakable purpose. The fears that once held you captive, fear of lack, fear of failure, fear of being too much or not enough, are not your masters. They're your messengers, pointing you toward a prosperous life that's been waiting for your yes. Imagine a celestial river, its waters sparkling with promises of wealth creation, divine provision, and clarity, flowing toward you with unstoppable force. This river isn't a distant dream, it's your destiny, and every trial you've faced has been a current guiding you to its banks. Psalm 23:1 declares, "The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing." Your lack is a lie, chosen one, and the truth is rising to meet you. Every moment of doubt, every tear shed in silence, every time you wondered if you were too late, was not a detour but a divine setup, preparing you for this exact season. The 3 steps I shared, writing a clear goal, connecting with an encourager, and starting your delayed project, are your sacred bridge, spanning the gap between fear and faith. They're not just tasks, they're prophetic acts, aligning you with heaven's economy, where resources flow like rivers and opportunities bloom like spring. James 1:22 urges, "Do not merely listen to the word and so deceive yourselves. Do what it says." You're doing, writing that goal, making that call, taking that first step, is your worship, your agreement with God's plan, unlocking the vault of His promises. Let's talk about the urgency of this moment, because the clock's ticking is a divine drumbeat calling you to move now. You've sensed it, the quickening in your spirit, the feeling that something big is breaking through, even if the world can't see it yet. That's not anxiety, it's alignment. The hum of heaven's favor tuning your life to the frequency of overflow. Picture a golden key, etched with your name, glowing with the light of divine purpose. This key fits the lock of every door you faced. Doors of opportunity, doors of healing, doors of financial freedom. Fear might tell you the key won't turn, that you're not ready. But Isaiah 22:22 proclaims, "What he opens no one can shut, and what he shuts no one can open." God is turning the key, chosen one, but you must step through the door. Consider the story of Leah, a nurse in her 40s who dreamed of starting a health clinic for underserved communities. Fear of financial ruin kept her tethered to a stressful hospital job. One evening, during a quiet prayer, she wrote her goal: open a clinic within a year. She reached out to a retired doctor, her encourager, who connected her with a non-profit. That connection led to a grant, and within months, Leah's clinic was serving hundreds. Her fear was a shadow, but her faith was a spotlight, illuminating a path to impact. Your fear is no different, chosen one. It's a shadow that fades when you act. Your 3 steps, your goal, your connection, your project, are your spotlight, shining on the path to your divine purpose. Your breakthrough isn't just personal, it's generational. Every step you take now ripples through time, breaking cycles of lack and planting seeds of prosperity. Deuteronomy 28:6 promises, "You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out." Your coming and going, your daily choices, your bold actions are blessed, chosen one, carrying the weight of heaven's favor. You're not just building a career or a dream. You're building a legacy that will outlive you, touching lives you'll never meet. Your obedience is a currency, drawing resources, connections, and miracles to your doorstep. If this message is stirring your soul, let heaven hear your voice. Type, "I am walking in my divine overflow" in the comments below. This isn't just a comment, it's a prophetic decree, joining thousands of chosen ones claiming their abundant life. Like this video and subscribe to stay anchored in this flow of faith, because together we're igniting a movement of purpose and prosperity. If this message has touched your heart, consider supporting our mission through Super Thanks. Your gift helps us spread the light of divine provision to more chosen ones, building a community where faith thrives. Now, envision yourself standing before a radiant altar, its surface glowing with the promises of God, promises of peace, provision, and power. This altar isn't in a distant temple, it's in your heart, where every fear you've faced has been an offering, refining your faith. Hebrews 12:1 urges, "Let us throw off everything that hinders and the sin that so easily entangles, and let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." Your race is marked, chosen one, and the hindrances, fear, doubt, delay, are falling away. The 3 steps are your starting blocks, launching you into a sprint of divine momentum. Don't look back. The finish line is a life of overflow, where every need is met and every dream is funded. Your fears are not your story, they're your stepping stones. Think of Moses standing before the Red Sea, fear gripping his heart as Pharaoh's army closed in. Exodus 14:14 declares, "The Lord will fight for you, you need only to be still." Moses didn't need to outrun his fear. He needed to trust God's timing. The sea parted and a nation was saved. Your Red Sea is parting, chosen one, as you trust and act. Your goal, your connection, your project. They're parting the waters, revealing a path to financial freedom, relational healing, and creative breakthroughs. You're not just stepping into a new season, you're stepping into a new authority. Picture a crown forged in heaven's fire, resting on your head. This crown isn't for show. It's for stewardship, signifying your role as a carrier of God's glory. Ephesians 3:20 promises, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, that power is at work in you, chosen one, turning your fears into fuel, your dreams into reality, your life into a testimony. Every step you take now, every goal written, every encourager contacted, every project begun, is a royal decree, commanding heaven's resources to flow." As we seal this moment, let's enter a sacred space of prayer where your heart aligns with heaven's heartbeat. Close your eyes, chosen one, or pause wherever you are. This isn't just a prayer, it's a divine activation, a holy agreement with the God who sees you. Heavenly Father, Almighty God, the author of time and the architect of our destiny, we come before you with open hearts and lifted hands. Thank you for this moment, this divine appointment, where your voice breaks through our fears. Psalm 139:16 says, "Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. You've seen every tear, every doubt, every delay, and you've woven them into a story of triumph. We declare that we are not late. We are right on time for your promises. Lord, we release every fear that's held us back. Fear of lack, fear of failure, fear of being unseen. We lay them at your feet, trusting your promise in Isaiah 41:13. For I am the Lord your God who takes hold of your right hand and says to you, do not fear, I will help you." Help us now, Father, as we walk out the steps you've given, writing our goals, connecting with encouragers, starting our projects. Bless these acts with your favor, multiply them with your provision, and guide them with your wisdom. We pray for divine connections, open doors, and unexpected miracles. Let our lives be living testimonies of your abundance, touching nations and breaking chains. Father, we thank you for the ticking clock, not as a threat, but as a call to rise. We receive your peace, your clarity, your overflow. Anoint our hands to build, our hearts to love, our feet to walk boldly. We forgive those who doubted us, who hurt us, who overlooked us, for you are our vindicator. Let your favor surround us like a shield, as Psalm 5:12 promises. We declare that we are chosen, funded, and ready to step into our divine moment. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Chosen one, if this prayer has stirred your spirit, declare it in the comments. I am walking in my divine overflow. Share this video with someone who needs to know they're not late. They're launched. Subscribe to stay connected to this movement of faith. And if this message has blessed you, consider a super thanks to help us spread God's provision further. Thank you for being here, chosen one. The clock is ticking, but it's ticking for you, unveiling a life of purpose, prosperity, and peace. Keep walking, keep trusting, and watch heaven move. We'll see you in the next video.